This week's episode of Love Nation is brought to you by Intercontinental Boston
and Tiger Bow.
Hello and welcome to Love Nation. I'm Thomas Edwards.
And I'm Laurie Davis.
Love Nation covers emerging trends in the dating world. And this week we're talking about
pet parents.
And this goes beyond just people who have pets. There are a lot of people who have pets.
So there's 44 million that have dogs, households that have dogs, and 38 million with cats by the American Pet Products Manufacturing Association in 2006.
So basically, if you include cats, dogs, fish, birds, snakes, rabbits, I mean, there are more households with pets than there are with kids. It's actually double. Which is absurd.
It's crazy.
Totally absurd.
So there's a couple of reasons why this is happening. You know, women are living alone and they're more career focused. They're not having children, or they're having children later. Mm-hmm. And there's also a lot of empty nesters, like people whose children are now in college who now live alone and get a little pet to cuddle up to.
Yeah. Or if you're a bachelor, you know, you like to have a little companion, so you might get a dog or have a snake. And so, same reason why.
You know, they also cost less than kids. Just saying.
Well, you're right. I mean, they do cost less. And because they do cost less, people seem to spend a lot more on these pets. I mean, the industry is what, 40 billion?
40 billion. That's one of the things we found when we were researching this, and it's crazy.
That's sick.
So... You know, beyond like the basics, the medical, and there is
grooming and things like that.
Teeth whitening. There are massages. There are custom dog houses. There are collars. We've all seen the like
blinged
cute
out
little purses and
little totes.
Exactly, Paris Hilton bags. And actually, the top 1% of pets in America live better than 99% of the rest of the world.
You mean pets or people?
People.
So to make that clear, so while all of us are living in destitution, the 1% of these pets are living the life of, I don't even know who to even compare these dogs to.
It's like that commercial when they ding the plate and the little fluffy cat comes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Totally true. And so... You know, if you are a pet lover or someone that has pets, it definitely has an impact on your dating life, whether you think so or not. And so here are some tips that I think we could provide that might be able to assist with that.
So the big thing is you need to accommodate for people who have allergies, right?
That's big.
It's huge because you're going to have someone that you date at some point that has allergies. And you're not going to know until they get there unless you've talked in excess about your cat, right? So you need to make sure that you clean all the time. Hair and dander is usually where the allergy comes from, right? And so look to places like bedspreads, anywhere where hair would sort of accumulate and stay is bad. Also, make sure that you have medicine around, allergy medication. Keep a box of Claritin on hand, because if someone comes over and they find out and, you know, they're allergic, they'll really appreciate not having to run out to the drugstore.
Yeah, and obviously some interactions are worse than others. Like I'm allergic to some dogs, but not all dogs. I'm allergic to some cats, but not all cats. So it really just depends on, you know, the situation. And so if you're able to provide something.
You can also isolate your animal too when they come over.
Yeah.
You know,
might
help a little.
Yeah, it's all the consideration.
If they're like a little, maybe you have a huge dog and they're skittish of dogs. So.
Yeah. And my personal take would be to not revolve your life around the dog. It doesn't reflect well on you, and it'll make me kind of think twice about who's more important here, me or your pet. But like things like if you're out on a date, you know, don't feel like you have to rush back because you need to walk the dog, or you forgot to feed the dog, or you forgot to feed the cat, whatever it is.
So maybe instead of meeting up right after work, you go home from work, walk the dog, and then you can go out on your date and you don't have to stress about it the whole time and look at the clock and need to leave at a certain time and like ruin everything that you're working towards.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't want to like throw the rhythm off by having to go home and walk the dog. Also, you should put it in your profile, of course. So some profiles will have a place for you to mention a pet. The reason why that is there, yes, it's optional usually. The reason why that is there is so if you do have a pet, you can say it. And people who are allergic can say, that's not good. Because some people are severely allergic. I know you're only a little, but some people, they can't even be in the same room as an animal.
They couldn't handle it.
Or in the same household as an animal. So put it in your profile. And if there's not a pet place, if there's not a question for pets, slip it in there somewhere else.
Definitely. And lastly, if you just happen to be dating someone who is a pet parent, I think I think this is almost quintessential that you actually like the animal.
So big. I mean, okay, so I have a cat, and there's nothing worse than a guy who's like not into it. I understand if you don't want to like pet my cat 24/7.
Yeah.
And if you're not like kissing my cat, I don't expect that. But there is some level of respect that you need to give pet parents.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so sponsors. Once again, we want to thank Intercontinental Boston's exclusive hotspot called Rumba. It's also the home of Love Nation. Rumba has been named among the top 100 bars in the U.S. by Food and Wine magazine in their Cocktails 09 book. Rumba was also voted Best Hotel Lounge of 2009, Best Hotel Bar of 2008, Boston's Best Kept Secret 2007 by the Improper Bostonian, and Best of the New 2007 by Boston Globe magazine. So definitely check it out. This place is awesome.
It is.
And thank you, Rumba, for hooking us up.
We also have Tiger Bow. So you can send real gifts to virtual addresses with Tiger Bow. If you don't know your date's address, you can still send flowers, a card, or any other treat your match might like. Visit tigerbow.com and you get your first card for free.
Awesome. So email.
All right.
What's our email?
So this week's email is from a woman, and they have been dating for a while.
What's a while?
Like maybe a year and a half.
Okay. That is a while.
I don't know if she said a year and a half or a year and 3 months or over a year.
Okay.
And they're at that place where she wants to be engaged. She wants to get married. He doesn't want to get married. And she has known all along that he never wanted to get married. But she has the fever.
She thinks she can crack him, so to speak.
So she thought that they would just start dating and
Then
things would change.
Yeah.
So she wants to know what to do.
So if it's that important to you to get married, then I think you have a choice to make. You can either continue to wait, and with the potential of it not happening with this person, or you could move on.
I disagree. I disagree. First time. I think that you need to decide what's more important to you. Is it more important to keep this person in your life, or is it more important to get married?
Well, did I say that?
If marriage, no, you said that you you said that she should continue to wait, and I don't think that she should wait. I think that if she decides that marriage is more important than this person, if she really, that's something that she can't live without, then she needs to move on, because he has not changed in over a year.
Probably will not.
She knew this going into it. He probably won't.
Yeah.
And you can't live your life like that. You can't just continue to wait for people and sit by. If marriage is more important than this man, you need to move on.
Yeah.
If he's more important, though, stay with him. And then maybe you need to rethink your whole marriage is the deal breaker.
This is true. I think I was getting there, but I can totally see why you disagree with the whole like waiting part. I wouldn't say wait, but
you said wait.
I just say wait. But I agree. I mean, I think that you have to decide what's more important to you, marriage or this person. And so in the end, that's what it's going to come down to. Chances are he's not going to crack. So are you okay with that?
Right.
So hopefully we've given you some food for thought. That wraps up this week's episode of Love Nation. If you can find us on Twitter. I'm your wingman.
And I'm eFlirt Expert.
And we'll see you guys next week.
See you then.